All right, next is committee reports, information items, good of the cause for the board. Ruthie, what else you got going on at the high school?
Well, I want to thank everyone today for wearing denim and red. And I hope to see everyone at the high school tomorrow wearing denim and red. So last meeting, I was really excited about Mr. EBHS, and that went really well.
Oh, that's right.
That went really well.
How well were they? Prom date well?
Not for me, but there was a promposal that happened, so that was great. Our Mr. EBHS did a promposal, so that was really great. It was just a lot of fun to watch the guys make fun of themselves. It was just cool. And I'd like to congratulate Steve Tamori on his win as Mr. EBHS. He was a crowd favorite, so it's good. Also, tomorrow, Science Honor Society is hosting a de-stress event from the midterms that we had for this past week, which went well, sort of. So tomorrow, they're having it in the high school, where they'll be having volleyball, basketball, different sports, so people can just come de-stress from their studying that they had to go through for the past week. I'd like to congratulate the girls' swim team on their 4-peat, as they call it, their 4th win. And they were really excited about that. I saw a lot of Facebook posts and tweets and stuff about that, so I'd like to congratulate them on that. And I'd also like to congratulate our IPPL team for reaching nationals. That was a really, really big achievement for them. They, I believe, reached the last round and had a wild card entry into the nationals. So I'd like to congratulate them on that. And just a reminder, International Night is on May 19th, and Collision is on March 24th, so please come for that.
All right, thanks. Anyone else with good of the cause or information items? Mrs. Shaw?
Very briefly, the Garden State Coalition of Schools met here in East Brunswick on January 25th, 2016. We had some information passed on to us regarding ESSA. The DOE still needs to develop a plan for compliance with this new law. We probably have heard, at least to some length, about Governor Christie's initiatives regarding opioid addictions. There actually has been a proposal for an addiction test that would be looking for certain markers among students, and it would indicate their likelihood of becoming addicted. So I guess we've heard of, such things as an addictive personality, and apparently there has been a test devised that can actually develop, where they've actually developed markers that can give some information. This, however, would require about a half hour of testing per student, and if you start to add up the number of kids we have at the high school and the time period that would be necessary, it would probably require about 150 of our school days to be in compliance with Senator Vitale's bill. Senator Lesniak has proposed an alternative high school for students that have problems with addictions. Neither of these bills has moved very far in the legislature. We later heard from Tom Byrne, who was a member of the New Jersey State Investment Council and also the New Jersey Pension and Health Benefits Study Commission. And yes, he is the son of our former governor, and he had very similar eyebrows. That's about, the most fun thing I can tell you about our meeting with Tom Byrne, because it was a rather dismal presentation regarding the health of our teachers' pension fund. A lot of the time was spent, kind of filling us in on how we got into this mess, but I think most of you have read a great deal about it already. It kind of boils down to a misuse of the funds and not paying into the budget what needed to be paid in. In addition to that, about $5 to $10 billion is being paid out yearly for our current retirees. And so, as you can imagine, it is only going to require more money as time goes on. There are no answers to this. Certainly none were given out at the Garden State Coalition meeting. However, there was some discussion as to whether or not a hybridization of the teacher's pension fund might be developed over the coming years. And of course, that would involve probably more payments on the parts of the employees themselves, also going into private investments, and perhaps still maintaining some part of it as a pension system that is more traditional.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Mrs. Chu?
not a happy
Yes,
day.
just, there was a meeting of the Finance Committee on January 26th, and I attended along with fellow board members, Mr. Cancro and Mrs. Becker. We had a preview of some of the presentations you saw tonight on physical education, as well as the clubs and activities. And we discussed the refunding of the callable bonds, which was also on tonight's agenda. And then lastly, we talked about the independent auditor. We have an accounting firm, as you know, Wisdom Company, and the partner that's in charge, Mr. David Gannon, has resigned for other opportunities. So the committee discussed a little bit about options to make sure that resources are properly staffed so that our audit will be completed on time this year.
Oh, interesting, okay. Mr. Seeler?
I'll speak on the Harlem Wizards game that went on Sunday. Jack Levitt and Mike Lax couldn't be here, so they asked me to read a statement from them. The EBF president, Jack Levitt, and Mike Lax, who was the driving force behind the Harlem Wizards game on Sunday, couldn't be here tonight, but wanted to tell everyone what a huge success the game was. I guess they wrote that part for me. There were roughly 1,200 people in attendance on Sunday, and the foundation made about $12,000 at the event, all of which, as we know, goes right back to the classrooms in the form of grants. They want to send out a huge thanks to the members of the district that helped them make the event a success. Joyce Boley, who jumped in with both feet when she took over for Beth Warren in January, along with Karen Mandler, who helped get our communication out internally. Doreen Polificio kept the game visible on the district website and Facebook pages. Marilyn Ryan was on duty to help manage logistics and crowd control on Sunday and went off without a hitch. To all the principals at the elementary schools and Hammersville for hosting the Wizards in their assemblies to help spark ticket sales, it worked. And of course, to all the EB teacher stars, players, without whom there wouldn't be a show. The foundation couldn't do all the great work they do without the support of the district. Thank you from Jack and Mike. And I personally want to say I was at the game. I also saw Mike Lax's 10,000 Facebook posts about tickets, and it did work. All the kids had a wonderful time at the event. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. My son, Cole, who calls himself C Money now, because that's what he was nicknamed at the game by the Wizards, loved it. And I think we should do this again, and it really got the community together. And I love it. I'm going to see the Globetrotters in 2 weeks, and I don't think they'll surpass for my son what the Wizards did.
Yeah, it was crowded, it was mobbed, it was great. It was a great, great event. You're right, good, and it made some money, so that's not a bad thing either. Great. Any other good-of-the-cause information items on this, the last day of the first semester? That's it, day 90. All right. We do have a need for closed session, so in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the board will recess to discuss employee matters and legal advice regarding executive order. Okay, they're more fully described in the agenda. The closed session is estimated to be about 3 hours, after which we may reconvene into public session to take action. So may I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Mrs. Becker, second by Mrs. Shaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good night.